On the road to MMA title glory, Ryan Darth Bader started his collection by defeating Phil Davis to capture the Bellator light heavyweight belt.
Now the new Bellator light heavyweight world champion.
Then Bader moved up a division and bagged the biggest triumph of his career. He claimed the vacant heavyweight championship with a 35-second dismantling of the legendary Fedor Emelianenko in the final of the World Grand Prix. As Bellator MMA's first champ, the famous line doubly applied. Heavy lies the head that wears two crowns. In the first defense of the 205-pound strap, Bader faced Fedor protege Vadim Nemkov.
Nemkov is the new Bellator light heavyweight champion!
Now another Fedor fighter, Valentin Moldavsky, riding the momentum of a 6-fight win streak, attempts to exact revenge for his mentor and bring another Bellator MMA championship back to Russia.
Может произойти все, что угодно, но мне кажется, может все быстро у нас решиться.
This Phoenix has returned home to the Valley of the Sun, hoping to rise to his latest challenge.
I'm going to go in there and have that heavyweight belt wrapped around my waist once again.
Will Bader continue his reign atop the Bellator MMA heavyweight division? Or will the last emperor prove once again to be a kingmaker?
The Footprint Center in Phoenix, Arizona, home of NBA heavyweights, the Suns, who are as hot as their namesake. 9 straight wins, and they have the best record in the association. Tonight, the best Bellator MMA heavyweight will be determined when ASU alum Ryan Bader defends his championship and renews hostilities with the Fedor team in the form of #1 contender Valentin Moldavsky, who is 6-0 under the Bellator MMA banner. Hello there, I'm Mauro Ranallo. 2021 was difficult for all of us, and yet it proved to be a banner year in the Bellator MMA cage. Highlights included A.J. McKee's $1 million manifestation in the Featherweight World Grand Prix final. The undefeated McKee sent promotional poster boy Patricio Pitbull to the guillotine. In less than 2 minutes, it was off with Pitbull's 145-pound crown. And the year ended with one of the greatest knockouts in Bellator history. 135-pound kingpin Sergio Pettis authored the mother of all comebacks and made his mama proud with his out-of-nowhere spinning back fist KO of Kyoji Horiguchi, a former Bellator belt holder who had been dominating the fight prior to the improbable 4th-round finish by the Phenom in his maiden voyage as champion. Pettis put an electrifying exclamation point at the end of last year's proceedings. Hey, we're all excited about what the MMA gods have in store for us this year. I'm always excited to be working with Big John McCarthy. And John, speaking of big, main event, Bader, Moldavsky meet to determine the undisputed heavyweight champion. How do they match up?
Well, they match up because neither one is that big heavyweight. They're the hybrids. These are guys that come in at 233, 234, and they are fast. They are technical, and that is what makes them special. A lot of heavyweights come in, they make that 265 limit, and they're 280, 85 by the time they step in the cage, but they're not as fast, and their wrestling is not like these two guys. Both of these guys can wrestle, but they do it differently. Bader, a blast double, does things from the outside very well. Moldavsky, more of a Greco-Roman style, gets the body lock, gets the clinch, foot sweeps. He is very good in tight quarters. The real question here is, who is going to be able to put the other guy on his back, either the back on the cage, back on the fence, back on the canvas, or back foot, making them move backwards? That's going to be the guy that ends up the heavyweight champion.
And you talked about them being quote-unquote small heavyweights, but in the heavyweight division, we all know it can end with one shot. And Ryan Bader defending the heavyweight title for the first time since September 2019, when he and Czech Congo fought to a no contest after an accidental eye poke left Congo unable to continue in Bader's first title defense. With more on Bellator 273, let's say hello to Amanda Guerra at the Fight Desk.
Hello, Mauro, Amanda Guerra, Josh Thompson with you. We are so excited to be back with you here in 2022. Josh, let's start with the main event, starting with Ryan Bader. It was just about 3 months ago, a little bit more than that. He was in this exact same building in front of his hometown crowd, but he was fighting at light heavyweight. He lost that fight. He said tonight is redemption on multiple levels. How does he get that redemption?
Well, like Big John was just talking about, he's better at heavyweight. He's more explosive. He can wrestle. He is, to me, it's been a lot happier throughout this whole week. And I think the way he gets it done, like John was saying, is puts him on his back. He utilizes his striking to close the distance and lower his level and hit that blast double that he likes to hit. He can also hit that snatch single to the double. He possesses the power on the feet, but it all comes down to throwing that power to set up his takedowns. Because like John said, whoever gets on top or pushes their opponent back to the fence, I think he's going to have a dominant night.
Let's go to Valentin Moldavsky, a Fedor disciple. We know that very well. It's going to be a storyline throughout the night tonight. He has all the weapons that Ryan Bader has. Now, you and Big John, you'll fight about this just a little bit. You think Ryan Bader is faster, so where does Valentin Moldavsky find the advantage?
So, to clarify, Ryan Bader is faster, I believe, on the outside, with the blast double and the takedowns and shooting from distance. But Moldavsky is a faster fighter in the phone booth. He's going to press Ryan Bader to the fence as he did with Roy Nelson. He pushed him to the fence, controlled the phone booth boxing, that dirty style boxing, and then when he gets his hands locked, he will take you for a ride. If he catches the leg on the kick, once his hands get around your legs or around your body, he is going to give you a ride for your life. Head up, ass down, as they like to say, you're going to be taken down.
That's how you like to say it, Josh. All right, it's going to be a great night. Taking a look at the rest of the fight card here. Our co-main event, we got Vincent Henderson going up against Islam Mamedov. Josh knows these guys well. We're going to talk about it. He trained with Mamedov. He fought Henderson. Now, this fight could heavily impact the future of Vincent Henderson. We're going to talk about that more in a bit. And the fight which could steal the spotlight tonight, Henry Corrales going up against Aiden Lee. Josh calling Aiden Lee an absolute savage. Tall, long, and lanky for you guys watching there at home. Mark that down. Henry Corrales is right there with him. But if Aiden Lee makes a mistake, watch out, because Henry Corrales could get the knockout. For now, we'll send it back down to Morrow, and we couldn't ask for a better fight to kick off the main card.
Amen, Amanda, here in the Valley of the Sun, all the ingredients of an Enfuego encounter. Saba Homasi involved in the 2021 Bellator Fight of the Year with Paul Daly. He takes on Jaleel Willis, looking to bounce back from his first loss inside the Bellator cage.
And now set to make his way to the cage, Jaleel, the real Hess Willis.
Fighting out of North Memphis, Tennessee, and you can hear that in the background representing the 3-6 Mafia, Jaleel Willis. He is 29. He is 15-3 as a professional, 3-1 here in Bellator MMA. Won both of his first 2 fights in Bellator before losing via guillotine choke in the opening round against Muhammad Belkhamov at Bellator 268. The last time Bellator set up its cage here in Phoenix. And John, that loss snapped a 6-fight winning streak. He said the #1 lesson he took away from that fight is he needs to release fear and embrace trust.
Look, this guy is good everywhere. He's got very clean stand-up, good wrestling, but he needs to understand he cannot just truck or run through guys like Sabah Homasi. He needs to be smart, he needs to be intelligent, and how he attacks him, that's the keys for him to get this win.
Jaleel Willis hopes that it turns out to be hard out here for Sabah Homasi.
Now welcome his opponent, Sabah, the Sleek Sheep Homasi.
The sleek chic, the 33-year-old Sabah Homasi comes into this fight with a chip on his shoulder the size of the Grand Canyon here in the Copper State. John, he went 0-2 in 2021, but he got your vote for the Bellator Fight of the Year in what was a barn burner with Paul Daly, and I guess matchmakers are hoping maybe, just maybe, we get a taste of that in this fight tonight.
I think anytime you put Sabah Homasi in the cage, he's going to give you what he has. He is a guy that he will live on the sword and die on the sword. I love the blonde hair. It's not quite blonde, but man, this is a guy that's got explosive power in his hands. When you watch him fight, don't blink.
Coming off a loss to former Bellator welterweight champ Andrei Koreshkov at Bellator 264 last August, so both Homasi and Willis need to get back on the winning track. Let's see how much they're willing to do in order to get the all-important victory. Let's go to the numbers, John.
Yeah, look, the numbers are, there's a little bit of difference here and there, but it's that 74.5. Jaleel Willis has very good stand-up. He likes to stay on the outside. He needs to do that against Homasi.
All right, it's time to hear from the main man on the microphone. He is Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Bellator MMA Live on Showtime. From Footprint Center here in Phoenix, Arizona, we get set now to begin Bellator 273 with 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing the blue corner. At 5'11", weighing in 170.2 pounds, his professional record, 15 wins, 3 losses, from North Memphis, Tennessee, Jaleel, the Real Head Willis. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 6 foot, weighing in 170.8 pounds as a professional, 15 victories, 10 defeats, fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida, introducing Sabah, the Sleek Chic Homasi. In charge of the action, your referee, Ryan Brueggemann.
Sabah Homasi has 6 wins versus via first round knockout, while Jaleel Willis, all 5 of his wins via KO have come in the first frame. What do they say? Don't blink. Immediately, Willis comes to the center of the cage. A lot of feinting, a lot of herky-jerky motion. Homasi also feinting. And it's Willis who launches the first strike, an overhand right calf kick by Homasi. The tension is palpable, isn't it, John?
Oh, it's great. Jaleel Willis really believes that he can stay on the outside with his boxing or get into a wrestling situation. He believes his wrestling is much better than Homasi's. We'll see if he's actually able to get there.
Homasi representing American top team. One of the most illustrious camps in the sport. Mike Brown, a champion inside the cage, and a highly respected coach. Counter right hand over the top by Willis after Homasi again attacked the lead leg with the calf kick.
Which is a very good thing. You see that Willis is already switching stance.
And Homasi has Willis's back, delivering some right hands, and the massive takedown by Homasi going for the neck of Willis.
Nice job by Homasi.
Body triangle. Willis in trouble here early. Again, Willis tasting defeat for the first time in Bellator in his last fight, looking to bounce back.
I think Homasi right now is just looking to come up in the top position, just like you're seeing right here. He's got an arm triangle in place.
Homasi hungry.
He's got the ability to get this.
Hungry for victory.
If he can clear that left leg, it will help, and he can change the angle and create more pressure than he did.
And there's the tap. Homasi does it. Homasi bounces back from an annus horribilis to kick off 2022 in scintillating fashion with his 3rd submission victory. His first via arm triangle. And what a performance by Homasi. That's how you bounce back.
This is what I said. He is explosive. And, Willis thought he had that advantage in the wrestling. It was evident that he did not. Homasi came in here, got that big takedown, got the back, and then realized, I want to keep sliding around. You could see him working towards getting that arm triangle. Once he got it in place, big squeeze. Watch this off of the kick. You see Willis ends up turning. Sabah Homasi gets the takedown right here, picks him up, slams him down, and from that moment, he was in complete control. You saw when he decided, I want to come out on top. I have this arm triangle in place. Normally, you're going to see a fighter try to free that left leg. He knew he didn't need it. He knew it was deep. He had a big squeeze on it. No way for Willis to get out. He was stuck. The squeeze was tight. Big time win right here for Sabah Homasi. Outstanding effort in the first round.
7th first-round finish. American top team.
Talk about championship performance. Look at that. Mike Brown, Dustin Poirier, Thiago Alves.
And Sabah Homasi, who bounces back in impressive fashion. Hey, his future in 2022 might be so bright he needs to wear those shades. Snaps a 2-fight losing streak and sends Jaleel Willis to his 2nd consecutive loss. That's how you get this party of pain started. Let's make it official with Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the tap comes by way of the arm triangle. Official time, 1 minute, 42 seconds. Round number 1. The winner by submission, Sabah, the Sleek Sheik Homasi.
The Sleek Sheik, as smooth as a fresh char of Skippy as we go to Big John McCarthy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with Sabah Homasi. Sabah, that was explosive. It was dynamic. You went after him. You are not known as a guy that goes into wrestling, even though you can. You love the stand-up. You use the power. But that was a beautiful submission victory.
Thanks, man. I'm just in here trying to do the best every time I step in here. So I'm just proud of my work. I work hard in the gym, and I come in here and try to show everything I've been working on.
There was a lot of heat going into this fight. You guys were saying a lot of things back and forth. I know he said that his wrestling was going to take you down, put you in positions you couldn't handle. You were talking about knocking him out. Talk to me about when you had his back and you were trying to switch it to come on top. You were thinking that arm triangle the whole way.
Yeah, I like to stay tight in that position. Just things that I do. But I don't know if I dropped him with something or hurt him with something for me to get his back. But whatever he's going to give me, I'm going to take. So I feel stronger in that position, man. There's a lot of people that don't have my strength in the welterweight division. I'm a big dude and I'm strong. I'm powerful. And now I'm learning. I found a happy medium. I can put everything together now and show all my skill set. And I'm here to fucking stay. I'm here to do work.
You did work. That was a beautiful win. Big time victory. Ladies and gentlemen, Sabah, the Sleek Sheik Homasi.
Sabah Homasi with his first submission win in just over 7 years, and the first via arm triangle. He told us that he had a huge fire lit under him and that he wanted to come out here and take Willis's head off. Well, he tried to squeeze it off, Amanda.
He really did. Moro taking a look there at Sabah Homasi. Congratulations to him. And Josh, we knew about the power of Sabah Homasi, and we heard Big John there talking about the submission and Moro as well. His first one came in 2011. His second one in 2014. This is just the 3rd submission, and it really surprised you.
Yeah, what surprised me was that he's normally someone, if he does hurt you or he does get to your back, he'll start unleashing the punches. He possesses power and explosiveness. But in this situation, he understood the situation where Jaleel Willis lifted his head. He went right for the neck, pulled him back. Then he made the transition and go to the top. Instead of opening up with the punches, he went to the submission, got the fight, got the finish, and was done.
What a way to start the night here at Bellator 273. Again, congratulations to Sabah Homasi. All right, we are so excited to be back in action here in 2022. Next month, Showtime puts the fight in February with back-to-back weekends of boxing and MMA. On Friday the 18th, ShoBox The New Generation calls unbeaten lightweight Jermaine the Technician Ortiz and ShoBox newcomer Nahir Albright to the contender stage to headline a 3-fight card. Then on Saturday, Bellator Masters of the Ground Game, Neiman Gracie and Logan Storley face off for 5 rounds in a welterweight main event. With a win, any of these fighters could be gunning for gold. And it's gold up for grabs the following weekend. February 25th, Bellator returns to the Emerald Isle, where the dream catcher Gegard Mousasi puts his middleweight crown on the line against undefeated Austin Vanderford. Friday at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. And on Saturday night, the action continues with a triple-header Showtime Championship boxing, headlined by a WBA super featherweight title bout between the dominant 16-0 Chris Colbert and belt holder Roger Gutierrez. Plus, unbeaten Gary Antoine Russell battles former champ Victor Postol, and Jerwin Ancajas makes the 10th defense of his IBF junior welterweight world title against Fernando Martinez. 2022 is heating up early thanks to Showtime, your home for combat sports. Well, still to come, we have the main event. Valentin Moldavsky will try to walk away with the belt firmly attached to his name, in just his name, saying it is not if, but when he beats Ryan Bader. Ryan Bader, meanwhile, the champ here in his hometown of Phoenix, Arizona, to defend his heavyweight reign. And you will hear fighters tell you over and over, if you want to be successful, you have to be selfish, especially in the weeks and months leading up to your fight. Well, just last month, Ryan Bader left his gym for training of a different kind, but with a bigger purpose.
I'm a type of guy that I need to be doing something all the time. I like to enjoy hunting, fishing, all that kind of stuff outdoors, hiking, camping with my kids and family, and really just things that I have a passion and feel something for. So I have a lot of friends in the special operations community. I've done a lot of different stuff. I got a call from Dan Henderson, and he said, hey, would you like to come out and join this Green Beret Celebrity Challenge? And we got to do this through a organization called the Special Forces Charitable Trust. Went out to Fort Bragg, got briefed by the big dogs.
We're calling it the Special Forces Tactical Challenge. We brought in some celebrities. They're teamed up with 2 of our Special Forces soldiers. They spent a day yesterday going through, hey, this is what we do. This is how you fire the weapons that we have, all in a very safe and educational manner.
They're teaching me a little stuff about reloading, target acquisition, transitioning, and I felt like I was picking that up well because a lot of that has to do with MMA.
Today, they got to go out on our range and put those skills to the test with Special Forces soldiers that are on their team. It's competition. We like competition. We think that that brings out the best in people.
I'm a competitor, and obviously the Green Berets on my team are definitely competitors. There was a house you're going through with your AR, as fast as you can go safely, transitioning to your pistol. Did well. I think I was fast. I was accurate, so it should be a good run. So we went out there and did really well. We ended up coming 2nd overall. I just love being around those guys, their mindset, and their determination to win. Those guys are the best of the best at what they do, and we're the best of the best of what we do.
The Warriors, they don't realize that there are people out there that are truly grateful for exactly what they do, the sacrifices that they make on our behalf for us as a nation.
Great organization. We end up raising over $200,000 just on that one vet. So the money that's raised there, that's going back to their family and helping them, in your everyday life.
We support not just the warrior, but their entire family, their kids and their wives, their whole package.
Just inspired by these guys. And if I can help in a tiny, tiny little way in their life, for the betterment of themselves and their families, it just inspires me, and it really is the greatest thing I've done in my life.
Well, needless to say, Ryan Bader made a friend or two, and he went out to Fort Bragg. You see them there, North Carolina. They are watching him, cheering him on tonight. And you guys know these are the best of the best. Fort Bragg, home of the airborne, headquarters of the Army Special Operations Command. Of course, we thank them for their service. Ryan Bader, big cheering crowd, but it is remarkable that he took time out of his training for this to go do that.
How do you not? I mean, I think a lot of us MMA fighters have gone all across the world to help, with all different types of organizations to help raise money for the military, to just show appreciation and be thankful for it. I know I have. I actually have been to Fort Bragg. I've jumped with the Golden Knights there. It's absolutely amazing what they are doing in terms of the fighters joining with them and just showing the appreciation across the board. We're so blessed to live here.
We really are, and again, we're going to be checking in with them throughout the night tonight. All right, coming up, we have one of the best fights next. Henry Corrales going up against Aiden Lee. I know you and Big John are really excited about this one. Let's start with Henry Corrales because you think stylistically this is a fight that he wants. That's good for him.
Yeah, he likes when someone stands in front of you and will trade with you, and that's what Aiden Lee will do. Now, the thing that's going to throw him off a little bit is Aiden Lee's footwork is very good, and Aiden Lee is tall, long, and lanky. So Henry Corrales is going to have to mix in the wrestling to get Aiden Lee thinking about it. Now, I'm not saying he needs to get the takedowns, but he needs to make him worry and be concerned about it. If he can do that, that'll open up his striking on the feet. And then Henry Corrales will step in, slide in underneath that long jab of Aiden Lee to unleash the power that he possesses in that left hook and that straight right. I'm telling you right now, he is someone that likes a dog fight. And I think Henry Corrales will be able to get one out of Aiden Lee if Aiden Lee is hesitant enough from defending the takedown.
So that's how he gets a win when it comes to Aiden Lee. We know he has the length, the reach, tall, long, and lanky. You like saying it over and over. How does he find the advantage tonight?
Aiden Lee's got to use his footwork. If he can utilize his footwork and stay on his bike, as we like to say, stick and move, mix in those head kicks to keep Henry Corrales' hands loyal to his head so he can't throw those punches, and also go to the body, but up the middle. If he does that, I think you're going to see a very successful Aiden Lee in terms of just letting the combinations flow. He can never stand directly in front of Henry Corrales to avoid the takedown and also to avoid the big shot. See how he sticks and moves, hits the combination, and gets offline. Now, if he does possess the power, but he also possesses the reach and the speed. If he touches Henry Corrales and Henry Corrales goes down, he's not someone that will shy away from hitting the submission, as we just saw with Sabaho Masi. When you get to the ground, jump on that neck. Let them know that it's there, that you will threaten the submission, which also could open up some striking as well. Aiden Lee is a very well-rounded fighter. He's explosive, and he's fun to watch.
This fight has the chance to steal the spotlight tonight. We're about to see how it all unfolds. Mauro, back to you.
Yes, Amanda. In fact, Sabaho Masi just promulgated to the rest of the fighters on the card. Top that and Henry Corrales, Aiden Lee. They're going to do their darndest to do just that. It's a crossroads clash at featherweight.
And now, to make his way to the cage, Aiden Lee.
It's Birmingham, Alabama, but it's Birmingham, England, where Aiden Lee is from, the 26-year-old who is looking to continue to grow as a fighter here in Bellator MMA. And, well, in the pro wrestling business, I'd say he was looking for a little cheap heat tonight with that Phoenix Suns jersey. But, hey, if he can steal some of the Suns' magic, after all, 9 straight wins, best record in the NBA. But Aiden Lee here tonight against Henry Corrales has a chance to really make his mark by taking out one of the, well, grizzled veterans of Bellator MMA.
No doubt about it. You know, he's had some incredible fights in Bellator, some that he's won, some that he has lost. And it's always the wrestlers that give him the most trouble. When a guy like Henry Corrales, who likes to stand in front of you and throw heat, is up against a guy like Aiden Lee, and you're talking fireworks are just standing by.
Good news for fans who may be seeing Aiden Lee for the first time tonight, known as a dynamic, explosive striker who has a flair for the dramatic.
And now, we welcome Henry Corrales.
Henry Corrales, safe to say he has a flair for the fight. This guy is 19-6, 7 knockouts, 6 submissions. His 14th fight here in Bellator. He's returning to the featherweight division. Well, in his last fight, he did that with a victory over Vladislav Parubchenko. And now the 35-year-old is fighting for the second time here in Phoenix. 4 wins via first-round KO or submission. Okay, wants to look for the KO tonight.
Well, he's always looking for the KO, but he needs to utilize that wrestling like what Josh Thompson was talking about. Wrestling is a key because he's got to make Lee at least respect the fact that he'll look to take him down.
He lost his first 3 Bellator fights, has gone 7-3 since then. Those first 3 fights were too well either champions or challengers. Let's go to the tail of the tape for our second fight of the main card.
Now, the big thing to look at here, like Aiden Lee, 75-inch reach. That's a 5-inch reach advantage, and with the footwork that he has and the way he uses it, he's going to be very hard to touch.
Here's Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA now features featherweights inside the cage, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds live on Showtime. We introduce the blue corner. At 6 foot, weighing in 145.8 pounds, his professional record, 10 wins, 5 losses, from Birmingham, England, presenting Aiden Lee. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner at 5'8", weighing in 145.8 pounds. As a professional, he brings 19 victories, 6 defeats. By way of La Mirada, California, he fights out of Phoenix, Arizona, Henry Corrales. And your referee in charge, Mike Beltran.
Corrales' 4 first-round finishes include a knockout of the surging Aaron Pico. Aiden Lee's last loss came to the aforementioned Pico. The thing about MMA math, it doesn't always add up.
No, it does not. You're absolutely right. This should be a phenomenal matchup.
Corrales immediately takes the center of the cage, wants to send this hometown crowd home happy again by way of La Mirada, California, but now makes Phoenix his home, fighting out of Fight Ready, and that's Henry Cejudo's gym in Scottsdale, Arizona. There's a kick by Lee. With limbs like that, you would expect attacks like that.
Lee is a guy that he's smooth in the way he attacks you. He'll lull you in, and all of a sudden he's hitting you. He uses a lot of straight shots that get there fast.
Thomas Hitman Hearns was just over 6 feet, 147 pounds, welterweight in boxing. Lee, 6 feet, 145 pounds, but he just got hit with a pound of power from Henry Corrales.
Look, when you see Henry Corrales put someone down, 90% of the time, it is with that left hook. He has got a very strong left hook. It's quick, it lands accurately.
And so is that body kick from Aiden Lee. Nice inside.
Henry's been doing a very nice job with those kicks.
Trying to cut down the taller Lee. Lee trying to keep Corrales at bay with the jab now from southpaw.
Well, the kicks at least have the ability to start to slow down the movement of Lee, and that is one of his best tools.
Minute and a half gone in the first round.
Really like what I'm seeing out of Henry Corrales as far as look at how relaxed, look how calm he is. He's not overextending, he's not pressing it.
At 35, and considering the level of competition he's faced, hey, this guy's been there, done that.
No doubt about it.
Under 3 minutes remaining in the first round. Again, Corrales continues to attack the legs, double pumps the jab. Lateral movement by Lee, but no attack, and it's Corrales again initiating the attack. Left hook to deliver, right hand through the guard.
Very nice combination.
Oh, what a beautiful right hand. Popped off by Lee.
You're talking about, look, when Lee comes down, it's like he's jumping off a water tower to land those shots. This guy has got such length, he creates power with his movement.
Trying to become more fluid in his offense here. here, midpoint of the first round, maintaining the distance, and again, has all the advantages physically in terms of reach. Again, Corrales chopping away at the leg. Double jab, and the left misses for Lee. 2 minutes left in the round.
Corrales doing a really good job, always going back to that low calf kick. He's trying to take away the legs and the movement of Aiden Lee. That's a good game plan against a guy that moves so well.
Do the homework here. Lee known as a volume puncher. Corrales has the more significant power. And there, total kicks, even. Total strikes, even.
Very close.
First round,
even.
Thank you. Corrales continues to chop away at the lead leg of Aiden Lee. Lee trying to feint, trying to find an opening, trying to find an entry. Trusting and respecting the power of Corrales, and there's a calf kick by Lee.
Lee really starting to get on his horse as far as that movement. Look at the lateral movement here. You know, when we talk about people moving, going backwards, that's not good, but that lateral movement you're seeing, that's all good movement by Aiden Lee. That's him trying to set up what he needs to do in getting his strikes in on Henry Corrales.
Well, Corrales did what he said he'd do, and what he always does, takes the center of the cage and wants to engage, and Lee, again, utilizing lateral movement, chewing up the real estate. Final 30 seconds of this first round. There's a left hook and a left body kick by Corrales.
Let's not forget, Henry Corrales did put Aiden Lee down in the beginning of this round.
Lee has been knocked out once in his career. That came in December of 2018 against Dean Truman. Henry Corrales has never been knocked out. As we go to round 2 here at the Footprints. Oh, little Showtime kick attempt. There's only one Showtime kick, and it belongs to Anthony Pettis.
Showtime, and where was that done?
And what about the Showtime spinning back fist KO?
That was
right,
here in
right
Arizona.
here.
Look at this right here. Here comes that left hook. A little bit off balance, too. You can see that the balance had a factor in him going down, but that was a nice right hand right there. Henry had already saw it coming, kind of leaned out of the way of it, but it did touch him. The leg kicks here, a big difference in this fight right now. Henry has been landing the heavier low calf kicks, and you see it starting to upset the balance of Aiden Lee.
John, you know how much I love to connect the dots. The Showtime kick came against Benson Henderson. He'll try to snap a 3-fight losing streak coming up next against a man who has a 20-fight unbeaten streak in Islam Mamedov.
Back up, please. Back up, Henry, back up. Back up, Aiden. Back up, Aiden.
So the first 5 minutes in the books.
Ready, fight. Let's go.
Bell goes, round 2, unofficial scorecard. What does it say and why, Mr. McCarthy?
Unofficially, I have Henry Corrales winning that, and a lot of it was the low calf kick that he was landing. He was upsetting the balance of Aiden Lee. Aiden had his moments, he did good work. Overall, I thought Henry landed the heavier shots, and that's why I gave him the round.
And so how does Corrales neutralize the movement of Aiden Lee?
Well, one of the things that you go back in a couple of fights ago, he fought Juan Archuleta, who used a ton of movement, and it actually upset Henry. Henry was very pissed off at the fight, saying he didn't want to fight, he just wanted to move. Well, he's getting the same thing, but he's attacking it in a better fashion. And going after those low calf kicks, trying to stop that movement through those strikes.
And Lee, though, putting some muster behind the 2 strikes here and circles back to the center of the cage, and Corrales trying to corral Lee. Proving to be difficult here in round number 2. And obviously, strategically, it may behoove Lee to do what he's been doing. But at the same time, for Corrales, he has to try to find a way to cut him off.
What Lee is doing is his way of winning this fight. But I would like to see him
not winning over fence,
at least attempt to look towards the takedown, make him at least respect the fact that he's thinking about it.
Lead right uppercut just missed for Lee. Doubled the jab and a straight left hand down the middle by the southpaw.
Yeah, that landed well, too.
Things percolating, things picking up here in the middle frame again. Hardcores, fans, and pundits alike really looking forward to this matchup again. Corrales connects with a right hand.
That was a nice right hand over the top. You saw Lee. He ate it well, but you could see it affected him a little bit because he's taking that step back.
And a lot of movement by Lee, and we've seen in the past, conditioning may be one of the Achilles heel he has shown. So with this movement now and the pressure by Corrales, we'll have to see how it unfolds.
Yeah, well, when we saw him get tired, that was against Aaron Pico, who was taking him down and making him work to get up. I think Aiden Lee can move like this easily for the 3, even 5 rounds, but it is that calf kick that will start to slow that movement down based upon his legs just not working the way they're supposed to. Nice kick to the body by Aiden Lee.
And a kick by Lee to the body, and the Corrales now crushes the space and puts Lee on the fence, trying to restrict his breathing midpoint of the round and the fight.
Sometimes when you're the shorter fighter, this is a good thing when you can use that head under the chin, raise his head up. Aiden Lee said, oh, you want to wrestle? Okay, I will. Going right back at it.
Snatching the single leg, defended well by Corrales. Underhooks by Corrales. And turns the tables, putting Lee on the fence.
You can take a double, Henry, right here. Double.
2 minutes left in the round, and sloppy shot there by Lee. That's stuffed by Corrales.
But he is out on the legs.
Corrales, 10-finger.
That's right. Corrales needs to push those hips forward on that. Lee's okay right there now.
Corrales has 6 submission wins, including 2 guillotine chokes. Lee out of harm's way.
Lee continuing the pressure, pressing forward on Henry. But both of these guys, they're always in a position where people are trying to take them down, so they both have good defensive wrestling.
Corrales dives right back in. The only time Lee has been submitted, as we mentioned, was against Aaron Pico via anaconda choke, but has Corrales putting the pressure from top position against the fence. Corrales trying to stay busy with strikes.
Trying to be busy. He's trying to put a lot of pressure down on those legs. You see how Aiden Lee's legs are in a position where they're collapsed to the right side. That's a good place for Henry to be, and he's using his leg right there. Although Aiden Lee has got it inside, which helps get that shield a little bit. It also helps Henry in keeping him where he's at.
Corrales always wanting to push a relentless pace, and like Drago, he wants to break his opponent. Mike Beltran wants them back on their feet, much to the delight of the crowd, and Lee responds with a kick to the body.
It was Henry Corrales that wanted them back on their feet because he got off of him.
Do you blame him? That's his forte.
It is his forte, and you look and you go, hey, you got to go with your strength. We talk about it all the time, and so that's what Henry Corrales is doing. Nice finish to the round.
From championship battles to jaw-dropping series. Hey, the hits on Showtime, guess what? They just keep coming.
I'm sending this message to explain what's happening.
The world is always going to judge us.
Fortunately for us, we are in the world-changing business.
I am where I am supposed to be. Come with me.
Footprint Center, Phoenix, Arizona. Second Bellator MMA event in less than 3 months. Another great crowd on hand here. And boy, great preliminary card action. Great start in our opener. And here, Aiden Lee and Henry Corrales set to do battle in the third and final round. John, how do you have it on your unofficial scorecards?
Right now, I've got Henry Corrales up 2-0. Not that Aiden Lee hasn't done good work. It's just I think Henry has just outworked him and done the better, heavier shots in the fight.
Lee resetting, spinning, back elbow, actually connected, but not with the force that he would have liked. Lee left hook lands, and so Lee getting busy like he has to do.
Like he's going after him.
And again, it's Corrales, though, continues to chip away with those low calf kicks, but Lee definitely upping his offense.
Absolutely.
As he desperately needs to do on an eye poke.
But look at the output that Lee came out of this round with. He's really going after it.
You want to get rich, John? Develop a glove that prevents eye pokes.
Well, there's only one way, and that's to put something over their fingers.
Good time here.
It's just part of the sport. If you're going to have grappling involved with it, it makes it very difficult. And here you see Henry just pushing off. It just grazed the eye a little bit. But obviously, the finger touches it. When something touches your eye, you feel it. Henry just trying to control and push him out of there. Nothing intentional.
If he's unable to continue, they'll go to the scorecard.
Look, they are in the third round, so right now, if he was unable to continue at this, they would go to the judges' scorecard. They would score this part of the third round that they saw, and would take the prior 2 rounds, and we would go to what's called a technical decision.
I'm going to bring in the doctor to check it out, okay? Give me a second. Okay, doctor's coming in here, take a look at it. You have time, okay? Yeah, just give him some time. Let him work it out, okay?
What's the protocol, John?
Look, he has time as far as it's not his to control. It's referee Mike Beltran and that ringside physician you see in with him. They're the ones in control of time. But Mike Beltran has already said, let me give him some time to clear out that eye. That's the right attitude. It's the right way of dealing with this.
All right, let's listen and see what's happening in the cage.
Doc's going to see you. Talk to the doctor.
Don't squint. Don't hold your eyes so tightly shut. Don't hold it so tightly shut.
Let's get some water real quick.
One of the things that I've seen lately that is, I think, a very good thing is you'll see some of the doctors that are working out of the Nevada State Athletic Commission are utilizing a wet towel, a wet rag, and allowing the fighter to actually put that in their eye. It tends to relax the eye and make things a lot better. I think that's something that should be used everywhere.
Here's your eye.
Unfortunately, the outcome could prove to be a wet blanket for the fans here in attendance, but I certainly, again, they're booing because of the fight being stopped. I hope they're not booing Mr. Lee, who's having difficulty with his left eye. Any fighter wants to continue fighting if they are a true fighter, John, and you're not worth losing your eye over.
Aiden Lee is not trying to get out of this fight. He was just coming out hot and heavy in that. But we're about 3 minutes into this. There's only 5 minutes that can be used total. So we might not end up seeing any more action. This might go to the judge's decision in that technical decision I was talking about.
And on your unofficial scorecard,
right now, I got Henry Corrales would win this fight. And you could take a look and say, okay, let's say that they give Aiden Lee, who is coming out a little hot and heavy, they give him at 10-9. That's what they're supposed to do. But he's still going to lose at 29-28. And again, it doesn't look like much, but that one finger, when it rakes across the eye, all it takes is for the cornea to get scratched a little bit. And as you try to open it, the eye burns. It's a problem in your vision, and we should not expect a fighter who has limited vision to go back inside and fight.
For what has been an electrifying, eventful night, coming to a sudden standstill due to this accidental eye poke. And remember, main event, Ryan Bader, his first title defense as heavyweight champion against Czech Congo. Accidental eye poke to Congo left him unable to continue. That was early. It resulted in a no contest.
Yeah, but the way he's holding his eye, this fight is not going to go anywhere. It's going to be over.
And for Henry Corrales, what's going on right now, John? I mean, you have to win, but mentally trying to stay in.
Just got to stay in the fight. Keep your head there. Realize, hey, I'm ready to go.
And now we've been told it's been 5 minutes, John.
5 minutes. You just heard the signal by the timekeeper. This fight is over.
Okay, you've had time. Can you continue?
No. Right now, Mike Beltran doesn't have the ability to continue the fight.
Okay.
It has been 5 minutes.
You don't have any more minutes. Time's going to go.
And a frustrated, dejected Aiden Lee showing his visceral reaction after the eye poke brings an end to the fight. But now it's up to the judges.
Judges will be scoring what they saw of the third round. They will give a score to that round, and they will take the 2 rounds that were previously given to the table, and we will go to a technical decision. Figure, look, Henry Corrales is originally from East LA, but he is a guy that lives in Arizona here in Phoenix. The crowd is behind him, but Aiden Lee did not just try to get out of this fight. He can't see out of his eye, and he should not fight if he's injured.
Absolutely. I mean, the eye is everything, and he's still having difficulty. I mean, it is causing him a lot of discomfort, and we are going to await the scores. There will be a technical decision rendered as the fight is truncated due to an accidental eye poke. I started getting the word of the day emails again. Truncated.
Truncated, I like it.
It goes without saying, but we announcers tend to say it, not the way anyone wanted this fight to end. And, Aiden Lee with a chance to make it 2 wins in a row. And again, against a guy like Henry Corrales, we talked about the fact he came into Bellator heavily hyped as a regional champion, but then in his, first 3 fights with Bellator faced Daniel Strauss, Emmanuel Sanchez, Patricio Pitbull.
Yeah, it was like someone didn't like him. Let's just be honest. If you're the matchmaker, you're going.
And yet, since then, 7-3, and he knew how big this opportunity was here tonight, too. Featherweight division, Jay McKee now at the top of the mountain. Plenty of opportunity to try to crash the top 10 rankings, and then this happens. But it was still a great performance by Corrales up to that point.
Good performance up to that point. Aiden Lee was having his times where he was doing well. This can happen, and when you scratch your cornea, if it's ever happened to you, it's happened to me. It's hard to open your eye. It burns the entire time, and it's just part of the game.
Aiden Lee trains with UFC veteran Tom Breese, his trainer Team Renegade. Also Leon Edwards, Fabian Edwards. Great camp out of Birmingham, England. An unfortunate turn of events, anticlimactic end to what was a much anticipated matchup. Let's go to Michael C. Williams for the technical decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the eye poke ruled accidental and having completed the required 2 rounds of action, the judges will score the partial 3rd round, and we'll go now to the official judges' scorecards. Your first judge at cage side, Eric Curcio, scores the fight 29-28, while judges Anthony Manus and Chris Lee both see it the same 30-27. All 3 have it for the winner by unanimous technical decision, Henry
Lee, obviously not okay in many ways, but for Henry Corrales, a win is a win is a win.
Well, look, he won the fight. The fight was prematurely as far as it did not reach its normal, natural conclusion of going the 5 minutes of the third round. But he fought as long as he was allowed to. He's the guy that was winning the fight at that point. That's why he's the winner.
And we'll wait and see if Corrales is going to get sick to his stomach, because he says going to a decision literally makes him sick to his stomach. Maybe some Pepto-Bismol in the back. We hope Aiden Lee is going to be all right. Let's go to Amanda Guerra.
Mauro, thank you. Well, still to come, we have the main event here tonight. Valentin Moldavsky going up against Ryan Bader. The winner will be the undisputed heavyweight world champ. Now, Moldavsky, who is so technically sound, he is coming into this fight on a 6-fight win streak. He has not lost since prior to 2016. He says it is his time to be the undisputed champ. Ryan Bader, meanwhile, back at heavyweight here in his hometown. Now, remember, he lost here just about 3 months ago, fighting at light heavyweight. He says tonight is time for his redemption, to win, and to win in front of his home crowd, where he lost just about 3 months ago. Now, Ryan Bader, even though he was working with such a short turnaround from his last fight, he made a couple friends along the way. He took time out of his very busy training schedule to head out to Fort Bragg for a celebrity tactical challenge there. 12 celebrities teamed up with Green Berets. They're there at Fort Bragg tonight cheering him on. They'd like to see a win from Ryan Bader, and by all means, he would like to do that for them. Now, Josh has mentioned Ryan Bader. He might walk around at heavyweight, but he's been at light heavyweight for a long time. We have not seen him fight at heavyweight since 2019. He said he feels better, but you think he fights better here. He never should have gone down necessarily to light heavyweight, and this is where he should stay.
Well, he had success at light heavyweight when he won the title from Phil Davis. Then he went to heavyweight, and he had success there as well. And so he had beat Lynn Vassell at light heavyweight, and now Lynn Vassell's a heavyweight, so I'm looking forward to seeing them fight as well. There's all these fights that you can see him fight. He is a better fighter in heavyweight. The wrestling pedigree gives heavyweights a problem. Moldavsky, though, has the answer to that because he is also a wrestler himself. But a lot of heavyweights don't have the wrestling pedigree that Ryan Bader has. The speed, the aggressiveness, all of those things play a factor. We've seen Ryan Bader this week. All he had was a smile on his face all week. Didn't have to worry about making 205. He was walking around feeling good about everything. Said camp was good. I feel healthy. I feel good. He looks phenomenal. Beating King Mo, beating Matt Mitrione, beating Fedor Emelianenko, beating, well, no contest against Chet Congo. But overall, his performances against all of them were dominant performances, and so I really believe at heavyweight he's a different fighter.
We'll see how he does back at heavyweight tonight. Like you said, he had a smile on his face all week, said he feels better not having to cut that weight, because that is the brutal part. Meanwhile, we have the co-main event coming up next, Benson Henderson and Islam Mamedov. Now, Josh, you know these two guys very well. You have trained repeatedly with Mamedov. You fought Benson Henderson. I want to start with Benson Henderson here, because he's coming into this. He's lost a couple fights. He wants to be in that title talk yet again. You said he needs to get back to a couple things. The calf kicks are one of them. What else?
Well, he's got to make sure he gets after the calf kicks right away. That'll take some of the wrestling away from Mamedov. If he can do that without being taken down, but all of that needs to be set up with his hands. If he can throw those the straight right and then also that straight left, if he can do that, that'll set up the calf kicks and avoid him being taken down. But he's got to aim low, because if he aims high, like you see against him here, where against Primus, where he throws to the body, going to the body can be detrimental to getting your leg caught and getting taken down. But he had a lot of success against Michael Chandler with the kicks. He had a lot of success with setting up the two things together, using his hands to set up the kicks. Now, when fighting Mamedov, someone's going to press the pace in the wrestling. Benson Henderson's got to focus on keeping his back off the fence, and when he hits the ground, on popping back up to his feet. He cannot afford to settle on bottom.
Let's talk about Mamedov there, because as I mentioned, coming into this, you trained with him quite a bit back in the day, and recently you talked to him this week. What is his plan coming into tonight? I mean, this is a guy who hasn't lost in more than a decade. He's an absolute stud.
Mamedov's going to do what Mamedov does, and what Mamedov does is he gives you a first-class airline ticket on Dagestan Airlines, and he's going to send you flying. He'll hip toss you, he'll foot sweep you, he'll lift you and double leg you and slam you. He'll do all of those things. That Dagestani style of wrestling sends you in the air, and that's what he does best. Now, in our conversation this week, what I talked to him about was when he fought Brent Primus, he needs to let go of his combinations on the top. I've trained with him. I know how good he is when he's on top, but he's got to let the crowd and the fans know how good he is. And the way you do that is by letting the combinations go from the top position with some vicious ground and pound and mix that in with your wrestling. He can do all of those things, but he's got to do it tonight.
I know people at home, they had a drinking game going on earlier with you. I would like to add to that every time you hand out an airline ticket, take a shot at home. All right, Maura, we'll send it back down to you for the co-main event.
Yeah, two fighters getting ready to take real shots. Two fighters streaking in different directions. Benson Henderson in the midst of his first 3-fight losing streak. Islam Mamedov undefeated in 20 fights. It's a top 10 battle at lightweight.
And now, making his way to the cage, Islam Mamedov.
His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud, he opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking now, everybody's choking now. The clock's run out, time's up.
Like the majority of denizens of Dagestan, Islam Mamedov spent, well, most of his childhood in a wrestling gym. He first started training MMA at his dad's gym, and now he is continuing the legacy of his late great coach Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, who of course the father of lightweight legend Khabib Nurmagomedov, who has become a, well, instant player as a coach as well. And for Mamedov, we talk about the streak. He turns 33 February 10th. He is 19-0-1 since July 2009.
Pretty impressive, isn't it?
Wow.
I mean, the thing about Mamedov that makes him so impressive is when we look at a lot of fighters, we look at guys that, man, this guy's an incredible athlete. He's super fast. It's not that Mamedov isn't a good athlete, but he's not that unbelievable athlete. He's not the guy with super speed, but he sticks with what he's good at. He sticks to being a guy who doesn't take big chances, is very basic in what he does, but what he does in basics is very solid, and it makes him tough to beat.
Lone defeat of his career came in his second pro fight against a good fighter in Alexander Sarnovsky. But like I say, back in July 2009, he holds a win over their lone common opponent, former Bellator lightweight champ Brent Primus.
And now, to make his way smooth, Benson Henderson.
It has been anything but smooth sailing lately for this decorated mixed martial artist. What a career it has been for Benson Henderson, now 38, former WEC and UFC lightweight champion. He says he is not going to retire until he gets the Bellator belt around his waist. And when you look at this matchup, he says he was promised a title shot should he get by Mamedov, just because no one was willing to fight Mamedov.
Well, if there's one thing that Benson Henderson has proved throughout his career is he will fight anyone. And he'll fight him in any weight class. He moves up to welterweight all the time. Sometimes, and I look at him and go, what are you doing? That guy's too big. Well, you know, don't go up there. He doesn't care. Benson is very tough to get rid of. He is good in so many areas. His stand-up, his low kicks. This is one of the guys that started that low calf kick. We talk about his Flintstone feet and how heavy they are. This is what Benson is made for. These moments where the guy that looks like can't be beat, that's what Benson Henderson
here in Phoenix, a family affair for the Henderson family. His wife, also a professional mixed martial artist, Maria. And for the first time in his career. His two eldest children are here to see him live tonight. Losses to former Bellator lightweight champions Michael Chandler and Brent Primus and to Jason Jackson at 170. Henderson looking to snap the longest losing streak of his career, while Mammadov wants to extend one of the longest undefeated streaks in MMA.
And what you were talking about, take a look at Mammadov's record, 21-1, but this is the 40th professional fight of Benson Henderson. Let's see if he can get it done.
Here's Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA now presents live on Showtime tonight's co-main event, 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing the blue corner first, at 5'11", weighing in 155.6 pounds. As a professional, he's near perfect with 20 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. Fighting out of Makhachkala, Dagestan, Russia, Islam Mammadov. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 5'9", weighing in 155.8 pounds, having reigned twice as a lightweight world champion, the veteran holds a professional record with 28 victories, 11 defeats, fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona, introducing Smooth Benson Henderson. In charge of the action, your referee, Jason Herzog.
Benson Henderson with 6 victories in the first round for Islam Mammadov. He says by far biggest fight of his career, the highest profile co-feature Bellator 273 against one of the decorated champions in MMA history. And a big opportunity here for Mammadov, but equally so for Benson Henderson. And what do you look for early in this styles clash?
Well, one of the things I look for is Mammadov to look for that kick like you just saw Benson throw it, to take any kick that is mid-level. He's going to latch onto that leg and drag Benson to the ground. Benson needs to be careful about where he does kick. I would suggest kick down low, kick up high, make his hands stay up and registered for defense against that high kick. Be careful of that mid-range level kick Benson does all the time.
Henderson himself has said that, yeah, he gives away the opening round a lot because he's busy collecting data. Well, can you collect data and win the opening round as well? I mean, for him, a slow start could be very difficult for him.
Yeah, it's detrimental because in boxing it's done all the time, but there's 10, 12 rounds.
Well, Floyd Mayweather
makes a big difference.
Took 4 rounds to do so, then he break it down and do his thing. But you're right, here you got 3 5-minute rounds and tentative start here. Mammadov in the center of the cage.
The more that this fight is on the feet, the more it tends to go towards Benson Henderson. The more it gets into the grappling exchange. Not that Benson's not outstanding with it, but that's where Mammadov wants to be.
Yeah, he is known for smothering his opponents, top control, and loves to trap the arms. There's that inside low kick by Benson Henderson, something you talked about earlier before we got on the air, something you'd like to see a lot more of from the former 2-promotion champion. There was a left hand to the torso of Mammadov by Henderson.
Right there, that's exactly what Benson needs to do. It's not as effective with his lead leg like if he was facing somebody that was also a southpaw, but he's in a position now to start to pick apart at that leg. When you have the opportunity, hit that low calf kick or bring it up high.
Body kick by Mammadov. Henderson ranked number 6. Mammadov number 7. There is Khabib Nurmagomedov watching intently as one of his compatriots fights here in Bellator. Once again, looking to improve off the victory over Primus.
This is where Mammadov wants to be. This is where he is just outstanding. Technically very good. Pulls the position, changes the weight, disrupts your balance.
The streaky Pitbull, the new lightweight champion, and Mamedov would like to leapfrog over the veteran Henderson. And there's a high knee strike, has Henderson pinned against the fence, and a smattering of boos here. Henderson's hometown of Phoenix. Knee by Henderson, reply by Mamedov in kind.
Henderson needs to be very careful of the foot sweeps and all the attacks on trips that Mamedov is so successful with.
Nice job by Henderson into Fomont momentarily now snatching the guillotine.
Benson did a great job of catching that, but that was not good for him to move into this position right now. His legs are not in the position for that choke.
Henderson looking for his 6th guillotine choke submission victory.
His legs are not in the right place. It's not that he can't get it, but man, it's a lot harder with where it's at. It's going to take a lot of strength and a lot of energy.
Last one came against Roger Huerta. April 2018 for Mamedov. He has never been submitted. And his 20-fight undefeated streak being put to the test here by Henderson.
It's tight still. Mamedov is putting up with a lot of pressure. You see him driving forward. That is to relieve the pressure on his neck. Benson needs to try to stretch that back half.
30 seconds left in the first round.
Mamedov putting up with a lot of pressure, but he's okay.
Is Henderson burning his arms out? He's a veteran, and he's very slick on the ground. Mamedov pops his head out. And with 15 seconds left in the first, Mamedov looking to take Benson Henderson's back. An eventful opening 5 minutes in the spurts. Henderson was looking for the guillotine. And we're looking forward to more in round 2. So, fans weren't always pleased, but Henderson did go for the submission.
Oh, he went for the submission, and again, in a position I was like, you don't have your legs set, but he went for it because he knows I need to do everything I can. Now, the real thing here, how gassed are his arms? Take a look at Khabib there. He is concerned. And then when you see Mamedov pop his head out, finally Khabib feels a little better. But it was enough, in my opinion, with the pressure that was on his neck and the severity of what was going on. I think Benson Henderson, he got that first round.
Mamedov surviving early adversity, receiving instructions, and hopefully some words of wisdom from Nurmagomedov, Habib Nurmagomedov, and his entire team. Round number 2.
The real question is, how is the lactic acid in Benson Henderson's arms based upon how hard he was squeezing? We're going to find out. Mamedov gets a hold of him again. We're going to see if these grappling situations start to wear his arms out.
Well, you talked about him abandoning the calf kick. He seems to be rediscovering it here in this fight thus far.
And you can see he's marked up that leg a little bit. He's put some pressure on it. The longer Benson can be in this position on his feet, the better off he is, but he needs to keep that back.
And he might, circle away from the fence. High kick attempted by Mamedov. Henderson stumbling after fainting with the spinning attack lead. Right hand missing for Mamedov. Opening minute of the second. A lot of fainting, but not a lot of the chucking of the leather. So 3 feints by Mamedov, but he does not fire. Now he fires the right and then drops looking for that waistlock takedown. That's the back of Henderson.
Well, this is exactly what Mamedov wants to do.
Oh, nice roll by Henderson.
Notice that the hands were
and back to the guillotine choke attempt.
He should not jump backwards. He should press forward into this. Now he's got his legs at least.
Arm and guillotine by Henderson.
He does not have his legs in a place to do it.
And it's side control from Mamedov, the risk and the reward. It all plays out in the watch, John.
This is exactly.
And now it's Mamedov looking for the rear naked choke. Mamedov has 9 submission wins, but none via RNC. Looking for one of the biggest victories of his career. Here in round 2, it would be by far the biggest. Knocking off a former UFC and WEC champion. Henderson desperately trying to survive.
Benson's in a position, it's not the choker. The position in his head is not good, but he's doing a great job of fighting out. But how tired are his arms now from all that squeeze into the guillotine chokes?
He's only been submitted twice, last time against Anthony Pettis, August 2013. Midpoint of the round and the fight.
This is complete Dagestani wrestling, dragging his opponent.
Are we going to see the Dagestani handcuffs?
Oh, he's going to try it. You see Benson rolling.
Looking for that knee bar.
Looking for the leg.
Great grappling.
That's a nice job by Benson. He's upset the balance.
Super scrambling here with 2 minutes left in the second.
Benson looking for that heel hook. He doesn't really have the position that's good for it based upon where the cage is at, because he can't extend him out.
Henderson's 9 submission wins comprised of 5 guillotine chokes, 4 rear naked chokes. Mamedov trying to avoid the heel hook. Referee warning him for holding on to the fence. And now Mamedov looking to move to side control.
Mamedov can use the fence as far as his hand being on it, but he cannot grab that material because that's holding him in a position. So that's what Jason Herzog was trying to break.
Mamedov back. Henderson, wrist grapple, wrist control, breaking the grip, but Mamedov with the hook.
Mamedov's a little bit high here. Benson has a chance if he can pull back. Now he's back in position.
Now wearing him like a backpack, and Henderson controlling the right arm of Mamedov, but the left arm is free.
This could also tire Mamedov's legs out there. Benson's holding a lot of weight, but Mamedov's got to hold his position and squeeze to maintain this grip on Benson.
A grueling affair here between Islam Mamedov and Benson Henderson. 30 seconds left in the second. Both of them have been fishing for the rear naked choke.
And what Benson was doing is he's using the cage to keep Mamedov from being able to strike it in the head, but the submission is there. And he can keep this locked up. Big time slam by Benson. That choke is not in place.
And time now becoming Henderson's best friend here as we go to the third and final round. Great stuff in that second round, John.
Very good stuff. That was fun to watch.
Some concern, as there always is when you're watching your significant other inside the cage.
Let's take a look at how this all started out. This was when Mamedov goes for that takedown, but Benson goes with it and tries to roll through. And there is a scramble, but look at how the hands stayed collapsed together. He had that gable grip, but then Benson goes back to the guillotine. But you saw that knee inside by Mamedov. That's what stopped his ability to actually get his legs in play. Here was when Benson rolled through looking for that leg lock. He set up the heel hook. He just didn't have the ability to extend him out to make that heel hook work. Love the
Benson Henderson firing up this crowd at the Footprint Center in Phoenix, looking to snap the longest losing streak of his career, while Islam Mamedov wants to extend his 20-fight unbeaten string. That left high kick bouncing off. Mamedov inside, calf kick by Henderson. 2 kicks, 3 kicks to start off the final round.
Kick is exactly what I was talking about. That's what I want to see out of him.
Scorecard, John.
this an even fight. I got Benson Henderson winning the first round. Mamedov got the second. Benson needs to stay more towards the center of the cage and utilize that low kick and the kick up high.
Partisan crowd providing the extra fuel with chants of Benson. 4:19 left in the third round.
Mamedov right now trying to press Benson backwards, and it's not working in the same fashion he was able to do in the second round to get him towards that cage. Benson needs to circle out. Once he steps inside that circle out, get back to center.
Mamedov pops the left hand off the face of Henderson. Henderson pawing out Mamedov with the right hand jab, and there's that left hand down the middle by Henderson. Mamedov with an advantage in total strikes landed, but Henderson just landed another right.
Big right hook. That was a nice shot by Henderson. And look at who is now in control of the position of the fight. You're seeing Henderson not being pushed back. He's actually pressing forward. You're seeing a difference.
Both of them have a high connect percentage in this fight. Not a lot of strikes thrown by John, but they have made them count for the most part.
That's what you're supposed to do. Mamedov trying to look towards a way to get Benson towards that cage so he can shoot in for the takedown.
Under 3 minutes left in the fight.
3 minutes!
One would expect a sense of urgency the more time ticks away. We heard someone yell 3 minutes. And again, Henderson attacking the lead leg. Lateral movement, but it's now Mamedov naked shot.
Yeah, this is not a good position for Benson. He has no submission right now at all. And you're going to see Mamedov climbing over. He's already in that half guard position. He's not in any danger of a choke right now. It's just a matter of the position itself. Benson is slowing down his progression coming forward.
Mamedov started his martial arts training at the age of 7. Wrestling a big part of it. When you're from Dagestan, it's like, you know, saying hockey's a big part of Canada. 2 minutes left here in the fight.
Learning wrestling in Dagestan is like learning your ABCs. We're learning them at about the same time of age.
And the wrestling of Mamedov neutralizing Benson Henderson. Henderson slowly trying to sit up, has his back against the fence. Seatbelt position. Mamedov trying to keep Henderson neutralized, but Mamedov also has to maximize his positioning as there's the roll. Knee bar attempt again by Henderson, trying to pull out all the stones.
Look for the inverted heel hook right here. You see that leg on the outside. It's got a great figure 4 on the leg to try to hold position.
Great display of grappling. Hammer fist to the midsection by Mamedov. Hammer fist to the face of Henderson. 1 minute, 10 seconds left.
Right now, although you're seeing Mamedov being able to land shots, he's the guy that's in danger of being put in a position to possibly lose this fight, so he needs to maintain.
Final minute, and it's Mamedov picking off Henderson with those right hands. And Henderson cannot accept this position.
Right now, Benson Henderson is holding this position, but he doesn't have the submission, and he needs to adjust because he's going to lose this fight based upon being with Mamedov on top of him, and he's getting punches landed.
A hard-fought, grueling affair. Mamedov looking to grind out the victory, hoping to keep his 20-fight undefeated streak alive. Benson Henderson, is he going to taste defeat for career-high 4th straight time? A lot of respect. And John, it was a hard-fought battle. And yet the third round, Henderson found himself on his back. You wonder now if, well, the back remains against the wall here in Bellator MMA. Crowd, they watch with their heart, not always with their eyes.
The crowd wants Benson Henderson. That's understandable. The real question is, what did the judges see? Did they see the strikes that landed in the beginning?
What did you see?
Henderson, I'm looking at Henderson and landed some good strikes in the beginning. Mamadov landed a couple. Henderson was actually a little bit ahead. The takedown, who got the best of that? Well, I can say that Mamadov got the takedown because he put Henderson in the position he needed, so he didn't have to worry about the stand-up. But he wasn't able to do anything with it, but he did land strikes, so it's really dependent upon what did the judges look at. I have a feeling they're going to go with Mamadov.
Two of the greats right there, Nurmagomedov and Henderson coming together. In terms of takedowns, Mamadov credited with 3 of 3. Henderson 1 of 1. Again, numbers don't tell the whole story, and again, here's why we love the sport and love these warriors.
Hey, this whole appetite for Bellator, I'm gonna come talk to you. Eagle, come talk to you.
Interesting what Henderson was saying to Nurmagomedov there about his future. And there, what a moment, regardless of the outcome, the fact that he gets to hug two of his 4 children, the 2 oldest, 6 and 4, and there's his wife, Maria. She knows what it's like to be inside the cage, and this may, we don't know what the future holds. We don't know what the outcome of this fight is.
No, we don't.
But now,
it's close.
And let's take a look at some of the action. Benson Henderson, meanwhile, saluting the crowd in the cages. John, let's go back to the action here.
What you just saw was what made Benson Henderson be successful in a lot of this fight, was that he utilized the ability to run through some of the takedowns, turn those, get positions, get to the point where he could lock on possible submissions. But Mamadov being the guy that is so good at clasping his hands and holding on to you, putting pressure, this was a very close fight. Beautiful slam there, but you can see Benson is in trouble. That choke is almost in place. So this is a tough one for the judges. I thought it was even going to the 3rd round. It's all about who you give that fight to. It's going to be an interesting call.
Could this be the last time we see Benson Henderson inside a Bellator MMA cage? First time his 2 oldest are with him. And we are still awaiting the judges to make their final tabulations.
Dave, you got a hair tie?
All right, finally, let's get it up to Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance in tonight's co-main event, we'll go now to your judges' scorecards. Your first judge at cage side, Anthony Mena, scores the fight 29-28. He sees the fight for Henderson. Your second judge, Eric Colon, 29-28. He scores the fight for Mamadov. Your third and final judge at cage side, Ron McCarthy, scores the fight 29-28 for the winner by split decision. Smooth Benson Henderson.
Benson Henderson has just seen the longest losing streak of his career come to an end in front of his fans and family, and let's go up to Big John McCarthy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with 2 adorable kids and the winner, Benson Henderson. Benson, this was a big fight for you. You were coming off of a losing streak, something you are not used to. You've been a winner your entire career. How important was this fight against Mamedov for you here tonight?
This was the most important fight of my entire career. I don't know if I'll ever fight again, so going off a W is good. That's the way to go. In front of your hometown of Phoenix, Arizona, thank you very much!
You had some incredible moments in this. You had a guillotine, but you didn't have your legs engaged in it in that first round. How tired did you get your arms trying for that guillotine?
Thankfully for that high elbow guillotine, you don't get your arms too squeezed out because you're not actually squeezing like a regular traditional guillotine all too much. You just have to lock the position in place. Then you're not really squeezing too much. So thankfully I didn't blow my arm out too much. But I wanted him to scoot his dang butt back a little bit so I can finish it. Like, stop doing the right defense, dang it.
Let's talk about the way that you defended some of those takedowns as you rolled through the positions. Was that part of your game plan, knowing that he was going to be working to take you down?
Yeah, it was two things. Either try to go muscle for muscle, he's going to get on this thing like he's going to get on the double or a body lock. Either go muscle him up and try and go horsepower for horsepower. The Russians are kind of strong. Or you got to roll with it and go to the next position, a Granby roll, a suicide roll, a roll for a knee bar slash to half guard. So that was the plan, to either go one or the other. But muscling up to those Russians, man, they're pretty strong.
They are pretty strong. I want to tell you, congratulations on a beautiful win. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Smooth Benson Henderson.
6-year-old Kyung, 4-year-old Cub, proving to be good luck charms for daddy as Benson Henderson snaps the longest losing streak of his career here in front of the hometown faithful. A guy who turned pro in November of 2006. Tonight, in his 40th professional fight, improves to 29-11, and he evens his Bellator MMA record at 6-6. Meanwhile, Islam Mamedov sees his 20-fight undefeated streak end in razor-thin fashion. Great picture there of the Henderson family as they celebrate a close encounter here tonight. Let's go back to Amanda and Josh.
Mauro, we appreciate it. What a finish there. What a fight. Josh, we were sitting here as the judges were trying to make their decision. You couldn't come up with a decision either because it was that close. But Benson Henderson, what did you see from him tonight?
Look, you can't lose when the littles are in the arena. Come on,
for the first time.
The littles in the arena, you just let it go, man. He fought a fantastic fight. They both did. I had my reserves about this fight when it was announced because I could see it being a slow, played-out fight. But the both of them came in and they performed to the top and the best of their abilities. Absolutely amazing fight. The scrambles, just everything, the striking, the calf kicks, everything that I thought the fight would be, it lived up to it. I'm so happy for Benson on him getting the win. Mamedov, back to the drawing board, but I know he's resilient. He's somebody that's going to make a couple tweaks here and there. He'll be back.
Absolutely, and Benson Henderson getting the win tonight. Again, in front of this hometown crowd. We're about to see Ryan Bader to see what he can do in front of the hometown crowd. Josh, our boss, gave us a schedule for a couple months there. We are very excited about. We can't release everything yet, but we can tell you what is coming up in February, and it is absolutely loaded.
Next month, Bellator MMA features 2 straight weeks of spectacular action, exclusively on Showtime. On Saturday, February 19th, from Mohegan Sun Arena, it's a clash between Gracie Jiu-Jitsu and All-American Wrestling when number 4 ranked Naaman Gracie takes on number 5 Logan the Storm Storley in a battle between top 10 welterweights. Then February 25th, Bellator returns to the 3 Arena in Dublin, Ireland for a World Championship showdown as middleweight king Gegard Mousasi defends his belt against the undefeated number 1 ranked Austin Vanderford. It's back-to-back Bellator MMA in February, only on Showtime.
And we are super excited about those fights. I have to hang out with you a little bit, but that'll be fine. We'll get over that part. We have our main event coming up tonight. We have fans watching from across the world, but we want to give a special shout out tonight to those watching at Fort Bragg. Ryan Bader has some support behind him there tonight. Take a look at those staying up late with us. Ryan Bader recently went there. He joined the Green Berets for a tactical challenge last month, and they said, you know what? You did well enough. We'll stay up. We'll cheer you on. So shout out to those. there at Fort Bragg. So let's talk about Ryan Bader. He is very familiar with Team Fedor. He's familiar with Fedor himself. We are calling this Chapter 3. Take us through Chapters 1 and 2 and how Ryan Bader got here tonight.
It's been a whirlwind for Ryan Bader since he's came into Bellator. I mean, in Chapter 1, right? Let's just call it Chapter 1. He fights Fedor Emelianenko in the Heavyweight World Grand Prix in the finals. Gets the finish at 35 seconds. That right there is a huge ego boost. But then he's got to go back down to light heavyweight to defend his title there against Nemkov, where he gets TKO'd. And that is very upsetting for him. He's thinking to himself, what do I do from here on out? Now he's got to go back up to heavyweight and defend his title there for Chapter 3. And that is where we're going to see tonight against Moldavsky if he can continue to be the undisputed heavyweight champ for Bellator.
We're going to write that chapter and see how it ends tonight, and then maybe move on to Chapter 4. So Ryan Bader looking to defend his belt at heavyweight. He says, I am back at heavyweight. This is where I want to be. We know it's a short turnaround from his last fight in October. We've talked about that. How does he get the win tonight?
It's got to be the bully. I've said this about Ryan Bader every time. When he's the bully, he dictates the pace of the fight. He pushes Moldavsky around. He sticks and moves on the jabs. Gets that blast double or that single leg snatch, run into the double, get to the top position. I'm telling you right now, he possesses all the tools as a heavyweight to be faster than Moldavsky, to be longer than Moldavsky, to be able to out-wrestle Moldavsky out in range. So he's got to use the distance. When he does come in, he's got to be wrestling and get into the top position. On top, he is an animal. He's a beast. Lynn Vassell found that out. Other fighters have fought. Matt Mitrione has found that out. When he's on top, he can do some damage. And I want to see if Moldavsky can take that damage from the bottom position, because Moldavsky's very rarely on the bottom.
Valentin Moldavsky coming into this on a 6-fight win streak. We know he is so technically sound. We've talked about it. Big John has talked about when he gets his hands clinched. Watch out. What else are you looking for from him to get the win?
Realistically, that's what he's got to do. He's got to fight Ryan Bader in a phone booth. He's got to push him to the fence. He's got to dirty box and make it a grimy fight. Hang on the head. He's got to get his hands locked. He's got to get to the clinch. And if he does that, he will be able to get these foot sweeps, hip toss, takedowns, that Greco-Roman style wrestling that he possesses, and that Sambo style foot sweeps that he possesses as well. He will be able to dictate where this fight goes, but it all starts with trying to get Ryan Bader's back to the fence. If he doesn't, and he leaves Ryan Bader out in the open, he's going to have some problems. The speed in the phone booth and the boxing, as well as getting to the legs and the body lock, I could see him posing a lot of problems for Ryan Bader if he can hold those positions.
We have waited all night for this. These two guys have waited all night for this. We're about to see how it unfolds. Only one can walk away king of the heavyweight division. Will it be Ryan Bader or Valentin Moldavsky? The time is now.
I fucking missed Chapter 2.
I got a call. I'm like, hey, would you like to join this heavyweight tournament? The legend Fedor Emelianenko was on that other side of the bracket, and I watched him fight, and I idolized him. I just kind of thought, how cool would it be if him and I met in the finals?
And watch for that right.
When I look back on my career, that's the first thing that pops into my head. Beating Fedor like that, becoming a 2-division champion, heavyweight champion. Even if I go on and do bigger, better things, I'll always look back at that moment. Obviously, in Fedor team, they're looking for some revenge. I got all the Russians after me.
Когда мы собрались, само то, что Федор до нас собрал, знали Федора, про нас вообще ничего никто не слышал.
Не успел.
Наш старший друг, товарищ, наставник, хороший человек. Искренне за нас переживает, там, прям видно, что сильно переживает всегда за нас.
Отсюда это все хорошо видно, красиво показывается. Вам надо, ваша задача зарядиться. И вот здесь как только пошло бы отсюда, без замаха, как мы с вами нарабатывали, как на встречу, там, бах! Так и здесь.
Объясняет все до деталей, поскольку у него огромный опыт, и он умеет показать, объяснить, донести. Да, это получалось. Как наставник, конечно, да, мастер своего дела.
Yeah, so today we did a lot of drilling, a lot of striking drilling, a lot of positional drilling, kind of where the fight might end up. In between these drills, you'll kind of see me kind of head down quiet. I'm just kind of going over what just happened, what he may do, what else could I have done. I try to put myself and have those feelings of I'm actually in a fight.
All right, ready? Go.
I'll get into the cage. Coach will do the you ready, and we'll do some walkthroughs. Because we don't know what's going to happen in the fight, but we know what we can do at the very start of that fight.
In lightning quick, he's already dropped the ball.
Может все быстро у нас решиться с ним, поскольку он любит в первом раунде сам обострять и довольно так динамично начинает, поэтому, я думаю, может все в первом закончиться.
He's been on the big stage before, so the only time he's ever been nervous is when he met Fedor for the first time. James' head is scrambled right now, and he's in big trouble. Moldavsky pouring it on, and it's over.
Analyzing Moldavsky, he's kind of one of those guys he's good everywhere. He's good at finding the right time to punch. I think if you stand in front of him, he's very tough.
Первым номером с ним надо работать, это, в принципе, так понимаю. Разговоров об этом особо не было.
Overall, he's a great fighter. He's proven it, and he's proven it in a 5-round fight. This is truly a top contender that's undefeated in Bellator.
Все-таки, раз я начал этим заниматься, достичь какого-то серьезного уровня, каких-то высот спортивных.
But I'll tell you this, heavyweight is my division. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to show you the Ryan Bader heavyweight champion.
Зачем что-то передавать? Надо выигрывать, и все. Не надо делить шкуру еще живого медведя. Когда убьем медведя, потом разберемся, что кому передавать.
I'm looking to go in there and finish him.
Set now to make his way to the cage, Valentin Moldavsky.
We are about to witness a real Royal Rumble, the key to the Bellator heavyweight kingdom hanging in the balance in what is the rubber match between Ryan Darth Bader and Fedor team, with the Russian contingent looking to collect its second belt. Bellator's first champ Bader lost his 205 strap to Fedor team member Vadim Nemkov, and now Moldavsky with a 6-fight winning streak, 6-0 here in Bellator. He would like to claim another title from around the waist of Darth Bader.
Absolutely. Look, he won that interim title against Tim Johnson, but interim is exactly that. It's temporary. He wants the real belt that is still around Ryan Bader's waist, and he is here to claim that. The real question is, with Valentin Moldavsky, he's got great inside fighting. Can he get Bader into that position? For Moldavsky, his keys to victory is very simple. Put Bader on his back foot. Team Fedor knows that if you back Bader up, you've got a great chance of winning. Use your speed and angles in the stand-up to create openings that you can just put your hands on him and wear him down.
Turns 30 on February 6th. His lone defeat came against Amir Aliakbari in Japan, New Year's Eve 2016. That was via split decision. He's reeled off 6 in a row, but none bigger than this moment here tonight. Again, Fedor Emelianenko casting the largest footprint in heavyweight history, and here at the Footprint Center in Phoenix tonight, one of his proteges looking to take another belt back to Russia.
And now the reigning Bellator Heavyweight World Champion, Ryan Darth Bader.
Ryan Bader hoping to exercise the demon of his last appearance here at the Footprint Center when he was ignominiously ejected from the 205-pound World Grand Prix, but here at heavyweight, this is where he feels he wants to be. And yes, despite being a smaller heavyweight, he is undefeated at 3-0, the one no contest, coming in his first title defense against Czech Congo after an accidental eye poke left Congo unable to continue. But for Ryan Bader, despite the fact coming off that loss, John, he feels that this is an opportunity to really show the world that at 38, still plenty of left at heavyweight.
Oh, look at it. Heavyweight 38 it's not that old.
No.
Let's just be honest. Keys to victory for Ryan Bader. You must move forward. Do not let this man start backing you up. If he starts backing you up, cut that angle, turn the corner. Takedowns with ground and pound. Look at Bader's got a beautiful blast double. If you can put Moldavsky on his back, he's got great ground and pound. He does great work there. That's where he needs this fight to be.
The only champion in Bellator history to register title defenses in 2 weight classes, making the second defense of the Bellator Heavyweight Championship here tonight in the main event of Bellator 273 from the Footprint Center in Phoenix. Bellator's champion's adopted hometown. Let's look at the tail of the tape, John.
You can take a look at that. We talked about hybrid heavyweights, both guys in the 230-pound range. 232 for Bader, 234 for Moldavsky. Both fast, both technical. This is going to be a great championship match.
Here is Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA live on Showtime. From Footprint Center here in Phoenix, the time has come for the main event of the evening. 5 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Heavyweight World Championship. Sanctioned by the Arizona Boxing and MMA Commission, Executive Director at Cageside, Juan Carlos Estrada, Chairman Scott Fletcher. And now, introducing first the blue corner. At 6'1", weighing in 234.4 pounds, as the interim title holder, he enters tonight as the #1 ranked contender, bringing 11 professional victories, 1 loss, fighting out of Stalinovsko, Russia, introducing the challenger, Valentin Moldavsky. And across the cage, the champion tonight fights out of the red corner. At 6'2", he weighed in 232.2 pounds. In his long-awaited return to the division, he brings 28 professional victories, 7 defeats. He fights out of Gilbert, Arizona. Ladies and gentlemen, the defending Bellator Heavyweight World Champion, Ryan Bader. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge, Mike Beltran.
All right, gentlemen, been over the rules already. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Tough gloves now if you want. At the sound of the bell coming out, handle your business. Let's go.
Bellator Heavyweight Championship on the line. Bader has 10 first-round finishes. All 4 of Moldavsky's finishes have come in the first frame. Both have predicted that this one will not last long. We're about to find out. Bellator Heavyweight Championship on the line. The first of 5 scheduled 5-minute rounds.
You see it right away. Moldavsky is trying to push Bader towards his back foot. Bader needs to be sure that he's circling out.
It took just 35 seconds for Ryan Bader. The right hand! Rocking! Moldavsky! Ryan Bader! All over Moldavsky, just like I was about to mention the 35-second vanquishing of Fedor team leader Fedor. Bader cracks Moldavsky early.
Early hurt him badly. The second shot also hurt him. Moldavsky's not in the position to be at range now. He needs to be very careful at what he does. This clinch position is very important for him at this time of the fight. If Bader could break away, gain some space, and come back with strikes, he's at a great advantage right now.
And Moldavsky doing what he has to do to shake out the cobwebs, and he takes
getting that body lock. Very good at trips, very good at backside takedown. That was a beautiful job by Moldavsky at a critical time in this fight for him.
In MMA, wrestling is the fulcrum. It tips the balance in favor of one or the other. Either it determines where the fight will take place. And the Greco-Roman Sambo star here in Moldavsky has Bader down and about to take his back.
He's in a great position right now. Bader needs to get back to his feet.
And he does.
Nice work by Ryan Bader. But that's the problem. You work hard to get up, and he brings you right back down to the mat.
Wow, the championship medal, Moldavsky, as he was in trouble early and able to turn the tables, and now looking to keep Bader on the ground.
A lot of strength being shown by Moldavsky, dragging Bader back down. Here's a good heavy hip position. This is not going to be easy for Ryan Bader to stand up out of.
Bader looking for that double wrist lock. Moldavsky putting the pressure, all of his weight on Bader's back, keeping him pinned to the fence, but Bader trying to maneuver, trying to get back to his feet, trying to get away from the fence.
Bader really needs to get that separation. It's not that Moldavsky's hurt like he was, but there's still that element. He was rattled.
And those knee strikes to the thigh will pay dividends as the fight progresses, restricting Bader's mobility. Well, Moldavsky doing a good job of that now, but Bader pummeling, and he's trying to turn the tables here in the first round.
Well, he was able to get those hands from being clasped together. Now he's in a 50-50 position. It's a matter of just taking his time, working his way out. The damage was done. It's still there, but Moldavsky is not hurt, and he's going to fight in a smart fashion.
With just one loss, and that coming via split decision, obviously, Moldavsky never finished, but he was rattled early in the opening round, coming up on the final 90 seconds of the first, and both fighters have had their moments.
This is the type of grappling.
The exit, the striking, and Bader exploding on Moldavsky.
Bader threw that shot. It didn't hurt Moldavsky down. It was just a little off balance. But Bader needs to press forward.
Waist lock by Bader, and now he backs Moldavsky to the fence. Moldavsky pummeling, looking for the underhook. Bader cognizant of that, and they're doing a good job pummeling and fighting for every inch against the fence.
Bader looking to try to get that. The double leg, it's going to be tough for him to reach out. Nice job of reaping that single leg. Get into the ground. Moldavsky's in that. He's got the double wrist lock there, but it's only going to be holding Bader for a moment.
Coming up on the final 30 seconds of what has been a good start to this heavyweight championship bout. Bader saying he will focus on heavyweight for the duration of his career. Undefeated in this weight class and making the second defense of the championship. The vacant title he won from Fedor in the final of the World Heavyweight Grand Prix, and he ends up in top position to close out the first 5 minutes of this fight.
Calm down, breathe. Все хорошо, ты его контролируешь, переводишь хорошо. Good breathe.
Here was that first shot right there. Big overhand right. Caught him right on the temple. Then landed a beautiful right hand right there. Almost put him out. Moldavsky did a fantastic job of trying to recover, getting that clinch. Watch his right hand. Boom. That just flipped him. But Moldavsky was able to get his hands around the waist of Bader, suck some of the time away, get the takedown. It's Bader's round. But Moldavsky did a great job of recovering and being very smart in keeping himself close.
Bader taking a page out of the Fedor playbook with that explosive right hand on Fedor protege Valentin Moldavsky, round number 2. to his right. Moldavsky looking to throw with bad intentions, but missing. And then Bader clipped, but swings wildly.
Both guys with big swings and big misses, but both guys going after it, opening up a lot more. Nice little check left hook by Moldavsky, landed on Bader. When you're seeing Bader make these circles, that's okay, but he cannot go straight back.
And Bader with the waist lock, taking Moldavsky to the fence. Crushes the space, and now wanting to maximize this position, delivering a knee to the thigh of Moldavsky. Bader, wrestler at Arizona State University. Fedor team led by Fedor Emelianenko looking on in their corner. Moldavsky defending the takedown, and now has Bader on the fence.
Moldavsky did a very nice job of defending that takedown and getting his arms inside. He got that underhook. You saw him clasp his hands, and once he did, that was good.
And an errant knee to the demilitarized combat sports zone, just a little south of the equator.
Kind of hard to see where it lands, but just from the reaction, you can tell it wasn't in a good spot. Yeah, straight up the middle, definitely hit the groin area. Moldavsky should just take his time, make sure that he is completely recovered.
Wow, he's not taking any time. He's ready to get it on. Sign of respect and sportsmanship. Bader acknowledging that it was an errant strike, and they renew hostilities here now. 3:10 left in the second stanza.
Boy, both of them throwing big-time shots. Really putting a lot of steam on those.
Again, that wrestling battle, that clinch battle, and due to their backgrounds, the clinch against the fence behooves Moldavsky.
I do believe it does. He's got that Greco background along with the judo black belt, and so there's just things that he's more comfortable in that type of wrestling.
And yet Bader's not going to make it easy for him, creating some space. That knee strike was to the midsection, and Moldavsky talks about, killing the bear. Well, they're bear hugging. They're fighting like two bears here.
Nice job by Bader.
Nice attempt, but Moldavsky back on him.
Moldavsky's got that leg in a position where now all he's want to do, he wants to turn that corner and drive Bader's back off of the fence and onto that canvas. Nice job by Moldavsky. Bader cannot be in this position. It's not that he can't work off his back. He is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He knows what he's doing. It's just as heavyweights, you cannot accept a lot of damage from a guy on top.
Bader pops back up to his feet. But Moldavsky determined to get that takedown and make it stick.
Moldavsky, a lot of heavy top pressure there, trying to just knee that thigh area, slow the movement of Ryan Bader down. See, and that's demoralizing more when you work so hard, you get yourself back to your feet, and you're taken right back down.
Moldavsky 5 of 7 in the takedown department. Bader 1 of 4. Under a minute left in the second round. A lot of energy being expended from both parties in a position like this, John.
Yeah, when you see Moldavsky where he's at right now, being able to apply pressure from the top down, that's not expending a lot of energy out of him. But when you see him and he's on his knees and driving forward, that's a lot.
And yet, in order to try to control a guy like Bader, you are putting pressure on him. 23 seconds left, and Bader needs to somehow explode out of this position. If he's able to, Moldavsky making sure that won't be the case, looking to ride out the second round on Bader's back.
Very good round for Valentin Moldavsky. Came off of that first round where he got really rocked by Bader. Fought his way out of it, but this is the round. He did exactly what he wanted to do in this fight. Controlled the position, controlled where the fight was at, put a lot of pressure on Ryan Bader.
Раунды остальные надо забирать. Понял? Внимательно. Стоя внимательно. У него есть the cage always on the hook. Don't let him lock his hand. Yeah. We are 1-1. You won one, lost one.
Ryan Bader watch party taking place at Fort Bragg in North Carolina. Round number 3. Big John McCarthy has the unofficial scorecard. How do you have it after the first 10 minutes?
After 10 minutes, I've got this fight even. I got round 1 for Bader, round 2 for Moldavsky.
And they collide like rams when they're looking to chuck the power strikes, and they end up back at close quarters against the fence.
This is the grappling position that Moldavsky excels at. He's great at putting pressure on. He's great with his trips. He's great with his judo. He is very heavy in these positions. Very hard to keep him from taking you down.
Bader started wrestling at 7, 2-time state champion wrestler. Wizard there, good defense.
But you saw Moldavsky gain the advantage when he got those hands clasped around him. Got both double unders. Now he's got the back, and his hands are together.
Moldavsky began training Sambo and Judo at 18. He began training Greco-Roman wrestling at 11, so both of their backgrounds in wrestling well chronicled, plenty of experience, and the experience now paying dividends for Moldavsky, taking Bader down. Bader getting back up to his feet, but
Bader doing
the
good
position
work.
remains in favor of Moldavsky.
Because he's not accepting the position, which is important for Ryan Bader. To be able to slip that right arm inside so he can turn into Moldavsky, but Moldavsky with his double, that S grip he's using, sometimes gable grip.
Back elbow by Bader. Action at a standstill against the fence, but Moldavsky putting the pressure with that waist lock. Bader trying to just avoid being taken down, but he has to try to find an offensive route as well.
Yeah, there's no offense right now from Ryan Bader. He tries to
can't stay pinned against the fence.
Right now, it's getting to the point where nice switch by Ryan Bader. At least he got himself back. Now he can face his opponent, work his way out.
Two minutes remaining in the third.
People look at this and they think, oh, that's nothing. There's a lot going on, and it is exhausting to do what these two guys are doing right now. Look for the single leg by Moldavsky.
Double wrist lock attempt, but now here in round 3, sweat making things more slippery, and Moldavsky has Bader's back, delivers a short knee to the thigh, doesn't get his hooks in, content to just hold on, put the pressure on his back, 1.5 minutes, but not a lot of offense here.
Moldavsky has never put his hooks in. He only did it one time, so there's something within his training that has told him we don't want to put our hooks in with Ryan Bader. We want to have heavy hips and hip ride him.
So, John, Moldavsky continues to ride Ryan Bader. We're not seeing a lot out of Bader in terms of trying to reverse fortunes. We talk about the little fights happening. What does he need to try to do in the final minute?
Ryan Bader now needs to get out of this position.
How does he do it?
He's got to use that fence as a balance point. You can see that's what he's trying to do, put his leg under there. Now that he gets it, as soon as he got the hands separated, that's when he needs to work at getting up. When Moldavsky has those hands together, it's very difficult for Bader to move out of the position.
And for Moldavsky, doing what he needs to do, keeping the champion neutralized, continuing to suffocate him, continuing to try to drown him. But we know that Bader, well, he has a huge gas tank.
He does have a good gas tank, but you can only go so far carrying another man's 230-some pounds.
Championship rounds are coming up.
Everything you have. Everything you have, champ. We need this 2 rounds, okay? Championship round, guys. Everything you have. Don't let him pull you against the cage. Keep moving. Right down the street. Don't let him get you against the cage. Все хорошо, в своей манере. Не махайся с ним, издалека.
Ryan Bader's wife, Daisy, looking on, cage side. Her husband enters the championship rounds, looking to successfully defend his heavyweight crown against the determined Valentin Moldavsky. Perfect 6-0 here in Bellator, and as we begin the championship rounds, how do you have it on your unofficial scorecard?
Unofficially, I've got Moldavsky up 2 rounds to 1 now. This is right now 29-28 in my opinion, but this could be anyone's fight. You can look at Bader. He looks tired at times, but he also looks like he's got a little spring in his step in the stand-up. He's trying to move forward. That's important for him in this fight.
And yet, after everything he's been through, we mentioned this, John, now it's circling to his right, but we're seeing him go back, straight back in linear fashion a little more here, and that could spell trouble. We've seen that happen in the past.
He cannot get into that position where he is moving straight back. That is a bad thing for Ryan Bader. It's okay to step off and circle out. It's not good to go straight back.
Both fighters clip each other. Right hand from Moldavsky, counter left by Bader. But it's Moldavsky again swinging for that heavy shot, looking for the takedown, and both of them again looking for that one-hitter quitter. And a wow, good sprawl by Bader. Now he snatches the neck of Moldavsky.
He's going to pass that right arm to Moldavsky and swing his hips around. Take that back.
Minute and a half gone in round 4. 1-2 by Moldavsky. Think about what it takes to try to secure a takedown here in the heavyweight division. Moldavsky determined to, dogged determination by the #1 contender.
He is just putting relentless pressure on Bader, looking for the takedown. All the little knee strikes into the legs, quads of Ryan Bader. Those take their toll.
Bader needs to try to create some separation, try to do so, and now it's Bader looking for the double, and he's known for those blast doubles in the center of the cage, able to secure the takedown here in the fourth round.
And this is where Ryan Bader excels. When he gets to the half guard position, he lands big punches, big elbows.
Bader's second successful takedown. He is 2 of 6. Moldavsky 7 of 15. But Bader needs to make this one count here in round number 4. What has been a highly competitive championship fight.
Bader normally tries to lace that up. You see him trying to reach to take the arm away from Moldavsky. Moldavsky turned to his back to keep that from happening. The half-guard position for Ryan Bader is money. He needs to stay in this and just land those kind of shots right there. Don't worry about the volume. Worry about when you get the opportunity, land the big one.
Moldavsky wearing Ryan Bader on his back here, coming up on the final minute and a half of the fourth. Moldavsky tried to turn in, gets punched for his efforts by Bader. Moldavsky held onto the fence. Referee Beltran immediately slapping it off the fence. Moldavsky looking for the switch.
This is one of the things that Ryan Bader does so well. Take a look at his legs and his ability to control that left leg of Moldavsky.
Locked it down. But Moldavsky is back on his feet. Under a minute left here in the fourth round. So Bader able to secure the takedown, control Moldavsky, didn't do a lot of damage, and now takes him down again with a single run in the pipe. Moldavsky on his back. Bader will try to send a message with some ground and pound if he can.
Moldavsky looking a little tired here.
Both of them. And what you'd expect it, right, John, after what they've done. And this crowd trying to fire up its hometown champion. Fifth and final round to determine an undisputed Bellator heavyweight champ. Game of inches, John.
It only takes little time, little things that make differences in the fight that become big issues. Moldavsky comes in, shoots on Bader. It was this sprawl right here that started to leading him down the road to success in getting this takedown. Pulls the leg out. Beautiful job of using his leg to reap that leg out. Half guard position. Here's what he gets him the second time. And it is important for Ryan Bader to go back and try to do the same thing in this fifth and final round.
Every single
Stage is set for high drama here in Phoenix, Arizona. Fifth and final round. Ryan Bader, the heavyweight champion. He has never lost by decision. And Valentin Moldavsky, who is a perfect 6-0 in Bellator, he has never been finished. And here they are. First minute. Measuring each other in the lead, left hook by Moldavsky. And according to our unofficial score, the heavyweight championship indeed hangs in the balance in the next 4 minutes, 25 seconds.
You think of how close Ryan Bader was to finishing this fight in the very first round.
Yes.
Now in the 5th round, he needs to suck it up, get the takedown, and make Moldavsky work to get back up.
Moldavsky's last 4 victories have come via decision, including that 5-rounder against Timothy Johnson. And Moldavsky looking for the takedown.
He got into a nice job. You saw that hip turn of Ryan Bader. That got him back to a position to keep Moldavsky from getting that takedown.
Bader breaks separation, but gets hit with a right hand. And there's a left by Bader backing Moldavsky up.
Nice knee up the middle by Bader.
Moldavsky determined to get this fight back to the canvas.
Both guys know they need this round.
Moldavsky's attempted 16 takedowns and was looking to take down Bader with his punches.
That was a big right hand landed by Ryan Bader. That hurt Moldavsky.
3 minutes left in the fight. Bader looks for the shot. Backs Moldavsky. Scramble. Moldavsky in north-south position.
Great job by Bader to get back up.
2.5 minutes left and the scramble continues.
Nice by Moldavsky to get the back. Here's where he has that heavy top pressure. Look at him lace that arm. Take away the right arm of Ryan Bader right now.
The rivalry between Ryan Bader and Fedor team. Final 2 minutes. Bader won the vacant crown by stopping Fedor Emelianenko. He's back on his feet now. Was knocked out by Vadim Nemkov to lose the light heavyweight belt. And now he and Moldavsky. More of attrition here, John. 1:42 left. Moldavsky unable to keep Bader down.
Moldavsky working hard to keep down Bader. Will not take the position. Great effort by Ryan Bader. He has proved that heavyweight is his weight class. Without losing the weight to get to light heavyweight, he's a much better fighter. He's got more energy, can take a better shot.
The crowd looking to push Ryan Bader over the finish line. Coming up on the final minute, elbows from the top. But then again, a crowd here does a down. They're going to again cheer everything he does. Moldavsky, though, continues to stay stuck to him, but he's eating these shots.
He is. He's allowing Bader to land some shots. Not real big, heavy shots, but they're landing.
And they're scored. Double wrist lock attempt again by Bader.
Bader looking for that double wrist lock. Burrow hold. Doesn't have it.
Bader's 3 submission wins via guillotine, arm triangle, rear naked choke. Last time he fought in this building. Lost to Corey Anderson, and now Moldavsky with a thunderous takedown with 10 seconds left. Is Bader going to bounce back and retain his crown, or will Valentin Moldavsky become the new heavyweight champion? What do you think, John?
All comes down to the 5th and final round. Both guys giving it everything they have. I look at this right now. I go off of what happened with those little shots. That was the big difference maker. I'm going to say Ryan Bader keeps his title.
25 minutes of heavyweight championship action, and not a lot of fistic fireworks, but then again, you look at what got these two championship caliber fighters to the dance, and that's what we saw them exhibit in this fight.
And we talked about how similar they are, and they cancel each other out a lot in what they do. Look at this fight can go either way. That last round is just the way you're going to look at it. Are you going to give it to Moldavsky by saying, well, he had the better grappling? Or are you going to say all the little shots by Bader, but he had that one big shot that he landed and hurt Moldavsky early in the 5th round. That's why I give it to Bader.
And so we will await the official decision here at the Footprint Center in Phoenix, Arizona. All of Bader's 7 defeats have come to fighters who have held or challenged for a championship. Moldavsky's lone defeat came via split decision back in December 2016. John, take us through this 5-round championship.
Well, that was the first round. That big shot. 2 big right hands that really hurt Moldavsky. I was so impressed the fact that he was able to work his way through those 2 devastating blows. And his wrestling early on was outstanding. He did a great job of putting Ryan Bader on the ground, putting him in tough positions, making him work hard. You see the elbow strike, but Bader coming back with the big shots. And I thought Bader overall, he landed the bigger, heavier strikes throughout the fight. But then it got into this little grappling exchange into the 4th round, brought it to the 5th round where I thought they were even. Bader landed that one big shot, but it was Moldavsky going after these takedowns and absorbing a lot of little volume shots that make me think that Ryan Bader, although he did get taken down here, it did no damage to him, and it wasn't enough time for Moldavsky to take advantage of. But this is a very close fight.
Bader, a 3-time Pac-10 champion, 2-time NCAA Division I All-American at nearby Arizona State University. Moldavsky started Greco-Roman wrestling at the age of 11, a Sambo specialist who is going to emerge as king at heavyweight. It's time to find out who is the Bellator heavyweight champion. Will it remain Ryan Bader, or will it be Valentin Moldavsky? Michael C. Williams has the answer.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance in this world title fight, we go now to your judges' scorecards. At cage side, all 3 judges, Chris Lee, Eric Colon, Ron McCarthy, scored exactly the same at 48-47. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, and still the undisputed Bellator heavyweight world champion, Ryan Bader.
Oh, how sweet it is for Ryan Bader being joined by his sweetheart, his wife Daisy, as close as it gets, 48-47 across the board. Ryan Bader in front of friends, family, his adopted hometown here at Phoenix. Ryan Bader remains the Bellator heavyweight champion, and he is standing by with Big John McCarthy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with the undisputed Bellator MMA heavyweight champion of the world, Ryan Darth Bader. That was a tough, grinding, grueling fight. I know I want to let you breathe a little bit, but you got to talk to me about how are you feeling throughout that contest?
What's up, Arizona? It's glad to get away here in front of the hometown crowd. Competed at ASU. Here we are winning a world championship. I thought that fight was really close. You know, I thought it was doing more damage, rocking him. Even that 3rd round, he was holding on. I was putting elbows. You know, there's probably 30 strikes to the head there, unanswered. I knew it was close going to the bell. So here we are. Arizona love.
Let's talk about the first round. You almost had him out. You landed 2 big right hands that had him hurt, but he was able to grab a hold of you and slow you down. How did you feel coming off of that round?
I felt good. He was a lot stronger in this body lock than I thought. We worked on it a lot, but he had a different feel.
I knew I had a rock, but I've been in this game too long to go after it. You let it all hang out on the first round, then you're dead, so I just had to pick my shots.
It's clear that all the judges and me just judging it for Bellator, I had this even going into the 5th round. I thought it was the small strikes and the one shot that you landed that hurt him, even though he got some grappling. That was the difference maker in the fight. Is that what you were thinking?
That's exactly what I thought. I knew, I got taken down there. I'm like, man, I just hope I did enough in that striking department. I did more damage, and I just hoping for the first time in my life they weren't judging the wrestlers, and judging these strikes. So, yeah, I got the belt. I'm glad. Tough fight, tough guy. I'll see him again. But, man, I'm glad to win here in Arizona.
That was a huge win. Congratulations on a fantastic performance. Congratulations for keeping that around your waist like you said. Your next opponent, we're going to bring in Czech Congo. May 6th, it is guaranteed that Czech Congo will get a shot at this championship belt and Ryan Bader in a rematch. May 6th in Paris, guaranteed heavyweight title on the line.
Number 2 contender, Czech Congo. Remember the first time they met, September 2019, Bader's first title defense at heavyweight. Accidental eye poke left Congo unable to continue. It was ruled a no contest, but Ryan Bader will defend the title in Paris, France, Friday, May 6th, live on Showtime. Valentin Moldavsky suffering his first loss in Bellator's 6-fight win streak ends. But you know what? Life is never great when you have to cut weight. Life has never been better for Ryan Bader than it has been at heavyweight, where he remains champion. Let's get a final word from Amanda Guerra and Josh Thompson.
Ryan Bader, staring at the face of his next opponent, but he is going to relish this victory tonight. Coming back to heavyweight, defending his belt. And you said it when we were watching that fight, he feels good at heavyweight.
He's a different animal at heavyweight. We saw his performance tonight, pushing the pace, out-scrambling Moldavsky in different situations, possesses the power as we saw in the first round. He had power at 205, but I think he possessed it, that power translated back into the heavyweight division. I'm telling you right now, he's a problem. He's a problem at heavyweight for some people.
I'm looking forward. We're going to see how that plays out very shortly again on May 6th. So Bellator Nation, if you miss any portion of tonight's fight card, Showtime has you covered. Check out your listings for encore plays of Bellator MMA on Showtime and later on Showtime Extreme. By the way, Bellator returns Saturday, February 19th. We will be there with you when Masters of the Ground Game face off. Naaman Gracie taking on Logan Storley in a 5-round welterweight main event. Again, that is February 19th, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, live and only on Showtime. And as we wrap up Bellator's 2022 debut, Showtime continues to serve the drama. Stick around for an encore episode of the latest Billions. Well, wrapping up a great night here at the Footprint Center in Phoenix, Arizona. It is a win for Ryan Bader, but it was a great night. We kicked off the night, the unexpected submission for Sabah Homasi versus Jaleel Willis, just the third of Homasi's professional career, saying by the end of the year, he wants a shot at the title. Then we saw Henry Corrales versus Aiden Lee. The declared accidental eye poke in the third round. Aiden Lee, after several minutes, deciding he could not move forward, and the judges unanimously declaring Henry Corrales the winner. We had the co-main event, Benson Henderson versus Islam Mamedov, going the distance. An incredible performance from each of the fighters, but Benson Henderson riding the ship and in the process handing Islam Mamedov his first loss in more than a decade. And finally, the heavyweight title fight. Ryan Bader, for the first time in more than 2 years, back at heavyweight, working to defend himself. It wouldn't be easy versus Valentin Moldavsky, but it went the distance, and Ryan Bader locking in as the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. For all of us here at Bellator, thanks for kicking off 2022 with us. Have a great night.